HTML is an acronym which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is used for creating web pages and web applications. Let's see what is meant by Hypertext Markup Language and web page. Hypertext. Hypertext simply means text within text. A text has a link within it, is a hypertext. Whenever you click on a link which brings you to a new web page, you have clicked on a hypertext. Hypertext is a way to link two or more web pages, HTML documents, with each other. Markup language. A markup language is a computer language that is used to apply layout and formatting conventions to a text document. Markup language makes text more interactive and dynamic. It can turn text into images, tables, links, etc. Web page. A web page is a document which is commonly written in HTML and translated by a web browser. A web page can be identified by entering an URL. A web page can be of the static or dynamic type. With the help of HTML only, we can create static web pages. Hence, HTML is a markup language which is used for creating attractive web pages with the help of styling, and which looks in a nice format on a web browser. An HTML document is made of many HTML tags, and each HTML tag contains different content. Brief history of HTML. In the late 1980s, a physicist, Tim Berners-Lee, who was a contractor at CERN, proposed a system for CERN researchers. In 1989, he wrote a memo proposing an internet-based hypertext system. Tim Berners-Lee is known as the father of HTML. The first available description of HTML was a document called HTML Tags, proposed by Tim in late 1991. The latest version of HTML is HTML5, which we will learn later in this tutorial. HTML versions. Since the time HTML was invented, there are lots of HTML versions in market. The brief introduction about the HTML version is given below. HTML 1.0. The first version of HTML was 1.0, which was the bare-bones version of HTML language, and it was released in 1991. HTML 2.0. This was the next version, which was released in 1995, and it was standard language version for website design. HTML 2.0 was able to support extra features such as form-based file upload, form elements such as text box, option button, etc. HTML 3.2. HTML 3.2 version was published by W3C in early 1997. This version was capable of creating tables and providing support for extra options for form elements. It can also support a web page with complex mathematical equations. It became an official standard for any browser till January 1997. Today it is practically supported by most of the browser. HTML 4.08. HTML 4.01 version was released on December 1999, and it is a very stable version of HTML language. This version is the current official standard, and it provides added support for style sheets, CSS, and scripting ability for various multimedia elements. HTML5. HTML5 is the newest version of Hypertext Markup Language. The first draft of this version was announced in January 2008. There are two major organizations. One is W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, and another one is WHATWG, Web Hypertext Application Technology Working Group, which are involved in the development of HTML5 version, and still, it is under development.